Ready to go. And we're
Hi,
live. I think it says we're live. So
everybody.
hey everybody, how are you doing?
Yeah.
uh Trina and I have just been sitting here. I would say, Trina, on a scale of synchronicity, we're probably hitting 11.
Right. Oh,
Wouldn't you
wow.
say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yes. So,
BOSTO to everybody in favor. We just
yes,
send you love
Marsha.
to everybody. Thank
Yeah.
you for tuning in, and thank you, Soul Tribe, and all the wonderful, wonderful moderators and the rest that are getting on the bus. So while they're getting on the bus, Trina, how are you? And let me just say, we have our teddy bear, and we just give
Uh,
everybody a hug. Yes, listen, we may be beast, but you know what? I will take the fact that
oh,
we can hug a
oh,
bear and
yes.
still send out the love and not be any cold-blooded lizard.
Yes.
That's all I got to
Yes.
say. So hey folks, we
Yeah.
dearly love you all and thank you for tuning in. And hey, Big Al, I know you are heading to Colorado. Big snow coming, buddy, so I hope you get
Yeah.
there.
Get ready.
Yeah, yeah, this time tomorrow you may be stuck, but hopefully you're going to go a little bit north. So Trina, how are you? You look fabulous, dear. You have
Oh,
just a
thank
glow and a
you.
sunshine about you.
That's
Um,
what happens when you spend a week in the frequencies of the fun.
yeah,
Yeah. And I picked up one of our soul tribe, Judy from Jersey, and we went
yeah.
out to a friend's house and did some healing work. And it was just so needed. And I thought I was going to get some, but I ended up doing it all. So, but next time will be my time. And the time before I went, it was all for me. So it's balance, I guess. The
It
universe
is.
knows how to
The
do
ebb
it.
and tide of, the great book, Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy, one of my favorite Southern authors. And in the book, Nick Nolte played the role and Barbara Streisand was in it as well. But in the end, as he's sitting there and he's gone through this whole dark soul of the night, and he says, and I love it, he says, I wish it would be unto every man that he would have two lifetimes to spend together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the way that things are moving these days, we're living multiple lifetimes.
And thank God for that.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever God that may be.
Right. Well, I think it's the thing that makes life. So it's
Yeah,
every,
yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
still
the
give
thing that
thanks to
makes
the one
everything.
who
Yeah.
gave me consciousness. I don't
Yeah.
know what
I
that
don't think it's
is.
a person or nothing like that.
I don't know. I kind of think that if I really got down to it, we may have been created by a geneticist, maybe by something, but no doubt about it, there had to be first the original thought, right?
Well, in the original, like I've seen this different kind of light. It's a different kind of light. It's a living light. So it's that living light is like what I see as the us is the spark. And
Did
that
you hear me
spark,
yesterday about the light at the end of the tunnel
did I what?
on yesterday's program?
Oh
I
yeah.
told people at the end, I said, what we're going to find out that what we experience when we transcend this life, because the story goes, we were never supposed to have a spirit. They didn't even think about it. And when it turned out we had some sort of higher awareness, they freaked out. But any
Yeah.
case, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that's why I said Wayne. Remember they put Adam to sleep. He is too smart. I
And
kept
that's what
seeing
they
that.
do when we see that tunnel. We're told to
Oh,
let go, let the feeling flow. But the thing is, they say it's a machine, and once you get inside that
it
machine,
totally is. This whole
wipe.
false light construct is a machine.
Yes. You know what we should really think about? I
What?
keep on thinking about this because we've been so indoctrinated in our thinking that we never talk about the dark light. Because if it's light, and if regardless if it's dark or white, right?
I think this is the dark light. That's why it has a shadow because the other light doesn't have a shadow.
It's interesting you say that too. Jane Tripp's coming on, and she sent me her book, and she's done a whole piece on shadow people.
Yeah.
And what she has discovered, they're here. The shadow
Oh yeah.
people are just like us. They're just a
Yes.
different species.
Yes.
They are literally their essence, and they're living in our physical world. They're
Yes.
just shadow people. They're not human beings, and they're not Homo sapiens.
Hmm.
Anyway,
I wonder if those are a new base of a base form of creating like a a construct. It's like one of the earliest phases of any kind of consciousness.
It's an interesting thought. I mean, I keep on thinking, what would the original thought be? I am? Or would you even
I
be
think
centric
that is
enough for
what it
I?
was. I think that's what it was. It was a reflection of itself. I really do.
Yeah.
I think the first division was actually a reflection.
It kind of goes in, it's interesting because if we correlate that
Mm-hmm.
to what physical life is, and this is all physical life is,
Mm-hmm.
I've contended that consciousness exists in a single cell, but apparently the whole universe, think about your thought, it sees itself and it splits. That's when we describe life, is when a single cell splits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it splits again and
Yeah.
again
And again and
and
again.
again and again.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, Sandra.
Lynn and I were talking last night, we were, because I love the woman because she said, you've expanded my world. And so her coming from the medical background, and I know Marsha Price would really get into this as well, and all the others in the medical field. But here's the thing. You think about it, we are nothing more than a trillion plus cells that somehow have found unification to be able to congeal and to coexist, and it makes this.
Yeah.
My
And then think
cell
about
of
it.
my foot,
All of these bodies make up our reality of our world.
and that's my point, because you extrapolate that out,
Yeah, you go small, bigger, bigger,
then you
bigger.
can see why the cat here is looking out beyond the firmament and going, oh shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't what anything what they taught us,
Yes. And
Yeah.
Wayne, it seems like every time we get to this level of consciousness,
Yeah. Yeah.
we freak out.
Well, we're going to continue with our story tomorrow, because the title of this, and I want to let everyone know how this title came about, because this was not what I had planned for our discussion. I
Right?
had a completely different topic. I had a completely different supporting material. And I'm sitting here in my office and bam, baby, this thought hits me.
Mhm.
War is coming. Now, it's not, I think that this is a solar war. They're here. So I said, nope, 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 not going to do it. And I'm typing, and it comes again and says, I said, war is coming. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all in the Soul Tribe. Hey, Robert V, David Castle, Cass, much love to you, hon. We'll say hello to everybody here in a second, but this is important, because what happened next, so I went ahead and put it in there, right? And we're going to show what you captured, because what you captured is quite remarkable. Then I get an email, and I don't think Gaia would mind this, but Gaia said, I went out and I let you see the email and the timestamp when she was getting her message. And so here's the background. And I know she's listening. Hey, Paul. Hey, Gaia. We love you.
Love you.
So she basically does sun gazing, and so she asked the sun today, what's up, what's coming. The sun, what she got, and she, if she's there, she can type in, but what she got was the same message, exactly the same message, exactly the same words. Now,
Oh, when they come in.
I'm going to tell you what, I mean, you want to do the statistical odds of how two people, and I have no doubt others had to have heard it around the world. I'm absolutely convinced of it,
I
Trina.
am too. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, that
And like I said, Wayne, in the way that picture, I was literally pulling out of a community and I heard take a picture while I was waiting for a gate to open. And I heard take a picture. So I literally took a picture and then
this
I
is the
didn't
picture
see
you
it.
took right here.
Yeah. And I didn't even, yeah, it was crazy. I just literally was guided and I didn't even know what was in the photo. I looked and I didn't catch it till I got home and really looked at it. And I was like,
So there's your picture.
yeah.
And It's clearly a craft.
Mhm.
And what I did is I took your picture and put it through some filters, enhanced it. And as we progress, you can begin to see that you really did capture. It's big, it's very large. Um,
Yeah.
and the fact that it was probably, I'm estimating where you were, what, were you 1,000 feet sea level? Where were you? What would you
Yeah,
estimate?
right about. Yeah, right about 1,000. Yeah.
I estimate that this craft, because of the cloud deck,
Uh-huh.
to be between 30 to 50,000 feet. That's
Wow.
just my opinion, but I do have
We
knowledge
got
behind that
that
that could.
we got that much light off this thing in broad daylight.
Yep. In fact, this is the storm that hit us here in Colorado.
Yeah.
So look, when I began to take the gamma down, and folks, this gets really strange. We're seeing that this is a huge craft. I contend that this light source and this light source are two separate, but they're the same size. I suspect they're probably a propulsion system, maybe
That's what
some
I thought
sort.
it was. I thought
Yeah,
those were the engines, the
yeah, I think
light
that's.
coming out of the engines. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
So here's your craft, and now you're beginning to see the dimensions of it. This is a big, big craft. I don't,
Yeah,
uh,
I
I'm going
felt
to
it.
tell you what my psychic impression got, the message. This is a troop transport.
I thought that's what it was too. I heard I heard
It is
transport.
a troop.
Transport ship was what
Yep,
I heard.
that's what I picked up.
Wow.
Now, wait till you see this, Trina, because it gets really interesting. Here is the ship, and you can see the scale of it. Look at the 3D dimensions, folks. You can see the light refracting off whatever. This is huge.
Yeah, it
What
was.
we're not seeing here, this is a rectangle ship.
Hmm.
Um, you can actually see, and there's something else behind here. It's having an effect on the atmosphere itself. But look at the size of this freaking craft.
Yeah, it's a big boy. It's big. Hmm.
Well, I think that what you were picking up, Trina, was and there's your original picture again, and we'll let everyone see it. I think you were picking up, and there it is. Look how it was so diffused right into the backdrop.
Yep.
That tells me they're over you. I mean, wherever you were at, it's obviously there is
Yep.
something going on.
Yep.
Um, so,
Yep.
yep,
Then it was really interesting because I don't know why I started looking again at some geometry stuff this morning, and I saw Arizona, um, like they're gonna have a grand illusion, a great illusion here.
I think
Like
we all are, dear.
yeah, I think so. I think Arizona's gonna get hit hard though with
Mhm.
this. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
What's going on?
yeah. uh it's all
Yeah,
being choreographed as we speak, as Gaia is saying. Yeah, yeah,
it's
you
crazy.
know,
Yeah, and that thing was humongous.
it is, and the size of this ship, and like I said, I saw it as a troop. That's exactly what hit me when I was working on it. Here is and I'm not gonna, we know that this was from the Skywalker Ranch.
Yep.
There is the grays. And this is why the book we're reading, the Terra Papers,
Hmm.
because it described this being. And I'm sure that Robert Morningstar never saw this picture, but this
Yeah.
is exactly what he described the lizard hybrids to be.
Hmm.
It goes in that the reason why their necks are so thin, they have no digestive system, they
Hmm.
have no sexual organs as well.
Hmm. Yep.
And you cannot help is when you see this.
Yep. Wow.
This is taken from the ISS. I contend, just my contention, that there are fleets already here. The Armada is already here. Um,
So yeah.
yeah,
That's what kind of would had me looking up at the sky in the first place was because all the clouds below that craft looked like those big what do they call cylinder clouds or whatever,
uh-huh.
like the spaceships. And there was
Mm-hmm.
like so many of them going north as far as I could see. And I was like, wow, that looks like a lot of spaceships. And then I heard take the picture right when I thought that. And then I got the picture of that craft. It was very interesting the way that happened.
Well, this is off of Catalina Island. I don't think the picture is available anymore, but look at the size of that craft.
It's huge.
It's huge. Look at your ship on this one. This is from Cora, but doesn't it look a lot like what you were caught at the very top?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I found other similarities to what you caught. These are on the moon. I kept on telling people last week when we read Mr. Saberi work, there are the diggers. That is a mining craft, is what is suspected. You can see that it casts a shadow and it's inside the crater. Folks, they're here. This is the TR-3B, reversed engineered, so they say.
Wow.
This is, again, more pictures of whatever is going on in the moon. You can see that this is clearly, it's not a natural
Oh God, no, yeah,
artifact.
definitely.
I have caught this over my house.
I've never seen a rod. That's one I've never seen.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never seen one of those. That would be cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one I've never seen.
This is the sun. I showed the video. There have been many craft that we have caught around the sun. More evidence.
Don't you think some of them are like fueling up or something on the
Yeah,
sun?
I do. I think it's exactly what they're
Yeah, it's
doing.
like, what are they doing? It looks like they're bringing out their gas hose and saying, "Charge me up, Johnny." Yeah, I don't
I
know.
got that one that actually shows them extracting raw plasma from the from the surface.
That's
This
what it
is
looks
over
like. I'm like,
England.
what are they doing? Yeah. Wow, these are great pictures, Wayne.
This is, by the way, this is kind of close to where Jenny lives.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
What I really want to show you is why I think the Armada's here.
oh,
Doesn't that look like an Armada to you?
heck yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Bruce Sees All, I recommend everyone go over there and check his channel out. He has captured many of these crafts. Again, this is the moon. And you can tell that this is artificial because the disturbance of the ground around it.
Yep. Look at how big that shadow was too. That
Oh,
was
it's huge.
that's a big
I mean, this thing has to be probably a half mile to mile high.
yeah, that's huge. I mean,
It's,
that's a massive shadow. I mean,
and I don't know who the hell's there, but I can tell you, these are more evidence of surface
bases.
mining. Look at
Yeah,
that.
that was totally bases. Oh,
I mean, come on, folks. I mean, you know, they're there. This is a craft. Some speculate that it could have been a crashed craft. I don't know. I don't know what a craft on the moon would look like.
I don't either.
I mean,
But
how
it
would
looks
you come
more like
into this?
one of those rod ones, maybe. So
Yeah, I mean,
that could be that. Yeah.
now look at this. This was again, uh, it's said to be a mining craft of some kind because you can see the almost like a dredge would be here for gold on up in the Yukon.
Yep.
Again, more bases.
Wow.
He says all on the moon, ladies and gentlemen. They're here.
Yep.
This one actually has smoke coming out of it.
Holy moly.
I mean, what the freak? Again, that
Wow,
is
look
a
at that.
base. I
Yeah.
don't care what anyone says.
I
If
don't
you're
either.
telling me nature with, so you come in with a crater that, you know, was a meteorite impact and this is what it
Got a
produced.
garage and a hotel and everything set
Hey,
right
we're
up
all
for
right there. It's just shaking bacon. We just pour it out.
that. Right? Oh, geez.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Again, huge
Wow.
bases, folks. I mean, they're there. Look at the size of this complex.
It's huge.
It's huge.
So that means they could obviously they could live outside on the moon.
apparently they're doing a lot of crap up there. I don't know if they're playing tennis. If they're playing golf, I want to play because it'd be the only time I could hit a par 5 in one putt, but
Right,
yeah,
right.
look at this.
I've seen that photo before, and that has always just fascinated me. I was like, look at that.
It's
Really?
weird. Again, this is captured on stereo A that's down. It broke,
Wow.
but yeah, I don't know what happened. Um, and then we have all of these drawings of the past, all here. I mean, this is in what is this? The Sistine Chapel, I believe.
Oh,
So,
okay.
what in the world is God and Jesus doing holding a satellite that's Earth?
Right.
Kind of gives that whole
Right.
moon
That's a
idea.
pretty good question there, Wayne. I never saw that before. Wow.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I mean, you just got to ask yourself. And then what most people don't catch is the craft down below here.
Right.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't know. And
oh,
here are
nice
the lizard
reptile eyes.
people.
Well,
Yep.
check that out.
Yep.
Eyelids.
This, folks, they're here. It happens. Many of them are in the media, by the way.
Oh my gosh, so many.
And Robert Morningstar had it right. You know why they're in the media? In the media, those are administrator positions.
Oh yeah, because they're part of the,
Communication.
yeah, that makes sense.
Look at this craft. And then, of course, this is the biggest news, preparing Americans for disclosure.
Yep. Yep.
So, folks, there's one of this was
I
taken over
wonder,
Texas.
I wonder if we're gonna be seeing the fake or the alien war thing.
I don't know.
Interesting.
This was Switzerland, and there's our other craft again. This one has been spotted several times in England.
Wow.
And again, captured here. There is a video I saw Sunday night was the most remarkable video I've seen. It was a filmed from an Airbus going into Israel, I believe, and the size of the craft that was turning, it dwarfed the Airbus, and I think it was an Airbus 360. So,
Wow. Oh
so
my.
anyway,
They're here.
they're here,
They're here.
and
Yep.
there's all different kinds of them. Look at the size of this one. Folks, that is approximately, they estimate, close to be 10 miles across.
Yep.
Um,
And like I said, the really, 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 really big ones, they won't even bring close to Earth. It'll throw us off our bat, off our.
you know what? It's interesting you say that because that's how, and here we know that these crafts, these are ours, the TR3Bs. I think they are up to the D now.
Wow.
Here is one being escorted. And again, so they're here.
Gosh almighty. Yes, they are.
And there
I said I
is,
heard take a picture and I was like, bam, there it was. I
you
didn't
caught it just so right on. I mean, Trina, it's just fantastic the way you did that.
because I normally don't do that. I really don't. And every time I do,
Isby
it's
says,
weird.
peace and love. We are right there with you,
I'll show you
Isby3.
one time, Wayne, it was the wildest thing. I literally had that same message, take a picture. And I just got done putting the lighter fluid on the barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
start the charcoal, and I heard take a picture. And I was like, of of a of a barbecue. Okay. I was like, okay. So I
Sure.
took a picture. And when I looked at the picture within the fire, I saw it looked like a monk and he had a square chest in his hands and he was knelt before an angel and it was all out of fire. And it was, I mean, it's so
Mm.
clear. It's crazy clear.
It's interesting. So as you just said that, I just had this thought. So the elementals, it's
Mhm.
something that apparently life through the galaxy is well aware of. They harvest it, they mine it, they trade in it. So if elementals are all part of the chemistry of life, Why wouldn't certain beings be able to live in the manifestation of like a fire where the flame is coming forth? It's a unique portal.
I think they can. I
I
think
think
they
they
do.
can
I
too.
think they do in the fifth dimension. I think that that's very tangible in the fifth
Yeah.
dimension.
Yeah.
That's where we get the salamanders and the sprites and the fire. Yeah.
ISB
Yeah.
says they're not getting any notifications.
Oh,
Well, those,
happens to me too, Izzy.
well, it just shows we're having an impact. But y'all should be, disciplined enough now in your psychicness to say, I don't need a notification. I know it.
Yeah, start
Yeah.
connecting to each other. Just know when it's time for us to connect. Feel it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Says 200 are watching. Yeah. I tell you what, there should be more. We'll get more in here because listen, so I've been looking, I did something Sunday night. I started doing comparative analysis of all the movies that have come out in the last 20 years
Oh, wow.
and looking at them by genre.
Mhm.
And if you look at them by genre, there is one genre that has cross-pollinated. It's aliens.
Yeah, I was going to say the
Movies
sci-fi
about
stuff, right?
aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, you have movies of humans falling in love with the aliens. You have the aliens manifesting as cute, lovable ETs,
yeah.
and
Like
yeah.
Paul and ET, and yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and the movie Paul, I have to say, Lynn and I love it. We got it on
Me
DVD. I
too.
mean,
It's
you
funny.
know, I mean, that's how I hope they truly are.
Oh gosh, right, right.
I
Me
mean,
too. I
you
could, yeah,
know,
I could deal with a little Paul. Yeah, yeah.
I love it where the where he heals the gal, and
And the downloads, I love it. He's like,
yes, I've had enough of your shit. Come here.
whoop.
Whoop.
And he's
And
just
you
like,
know what? He's got to be a cool dude. I mean,
yeah,
he smokes pot. I mean,
right.
likes the
Likes to
cannabis.
party, right?
Yeah.
He's just
And he
chill.
can dance.
Yep.
Yeah.
The,
I mean,
the whole eat the bird thing, though, I was like, oh man, brought it back to life so you could eat it. I was like, oh, only live food for a
like when
bird.
he says, are you and Graham, you know, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
says we're on my planet, we're all bi. So I mean, like I'm cool
Right.
with it all. I mean,
Yeah. Y'all are here, so it's okay. Yeah.
but again, so looking at these movies, I have seen a darker turn to them. And
Yeah.
what I'm seeing is more of the Armageddon.
Hmm.
The ships coming in, the comets, the asteroids, this genre now, much to what the guy wrote about some 26, 27 years ago. He said you will start seeing the message going out of something falling from the sky.
Wow.
Wasn't it which was the asteroid that just passed by?
Apophysis.
Apophysis, yes. Is it passed by or is it's going to be?
I think it did.
Yeah, I think it did. And
Thought it was.
again, I don't know. Do anyone know for sure? I think it was this weekend. Elderberry says I've probably watched Paul 100 times. It's worth it. I
I
mean, you
think
laugh every time,
I think Greek apophysis,
Yes.
however you say that.
Apophysis.
I think it means chaos.
It does.
I'm like, uh-oh. And that's the announcement before the chaos. And we're hearing wars coming and I'm seeing spaceships. Uh-oh.
And I know it's a far out subject, folks. I mean, I really do. But you know what? It's because it's so far out is why I give it a lot of credence.
Might have legs to stand on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because, I love humanity, Trina. You do. The people here are people of love. They're giving people, they're kind people. Um, and it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
But there is something yet that overshadows all of us. And if you look at humanity right now, I've never seen a time in our planet where there is just mass confusion and chaos. I've never seen some of the most, they don't even make sense, ideas that people are adapting as life, as belief systems. I,
You
I,
know,
I I
yeah,
have a friend who's told me that we have to look for China. China is going to do something.
I think because China already did do something because this,
I think I would agree with you. We don't know what, but I would agree with you. I
I
hear
think,
you in my mind loud and clear.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
think what was done, I don't think that that was expected, and now there's a big problem.
So let's talk about this because I think we can talk it on an esoteric level, maybe taking a level up. I am
Absolutely.
questioning, is this man or is this something else? Because, man has done a lot of funky things to other humans. I mean, we have. I mean, our culture, our background, that's sadly, it's a part of us. But,
Absolutely.
I can't help but go back to when, I lived in the communes. Um, I didn't see violence. I didn't see people judging others. I didn't see people looking at the color of skin. I didn't see any of that. What I saw in our case, there were a lot of people who come from broken homes,
Yes.
broken families that were looking for a family.
Yes.
And we found a family. And you know what? It may have only been for 3 or 4 months.
But it was realer than most people have their
Yes.
life.
Thank you, Trina. Thank you,
I
dear.
know that because I witnessed it. I got to see both sides of that when I was a child, and I'm so grateful for it. And I hung out with the people that were super poor. I liked them the best.
Mhm.
They were the best people.
The
And
thing when I was broke and just really broke, I
mhm,
never had to worry about someone stealing from me.
right.
I didn't have anything for them to steal.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't, you know, and
Some of those best memories were hanging out with people who literally had nothing, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
would do anything for me. They would do
yeah.
anything for anyone. They were the most generous people and had the least to give, and they had the biggest, most generous, real, sincere hearts. I was just mind blowing because I was around so many fake people already by that
Mm,
time. And then when you get around real, boy, it's a nice feeling.
yeah, yeah. We
Mhm.
used to call people like that plastic. Yeah, you know,
And I saw
they're
it by like the age 13, I saw that already like 75% of the people around me were plastic.
hmm yeah.
And everybody wants you to be plastic too. So yeah,
Well, it makes it easier
yeah,
because
yeah,
if you're the one that, stands out, typically they get uncomfortable because they sometimes see the reflection of themselves. And I think that that's one of the things that makes most of us uncomfortable around others. And then there's the thing, and it's so true, where there are just beings, other humans, that have such an opposite polarity of myself that they can't be around me and I can't be around them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I say, oh, you're irritating. They're demons.
Yeah, and I imagine doing energy healing work. That could be, where you almost want to wear the rubber sole boots, because
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I've seen some, yeah, complications with all that crazy crap.
And the manifestations here continue where I am thinking something and Lynn is in another room and she hears my voice.
I think that's probably permanent now.
It's a
Once
little,
you establish the link, it's done.
yeah,
You're
it's like a new feeling. And it's like,
yes.
okay, I don't know. Is this good or is this bad? I don't know.
It is what it is, and that's what's going to be happening. Remember, um, they said when the vibration shift, people won't be able to lie anymore because you're gonna see right through it. That's what you and Lynn are doing already. So like you're ahead of the crowd. But I think everybody eventually in the new age is going to start to have that same thing going on. That's why get ready to stand in your truth, guys, because you will not be able to do anything but it's coming.
I agree. I am
It's
convinced
coming.
of it. It's just,
It's coming.
it's,
People are going to feel it when like they've never felt before. They're going to feel deception. That's part of the whole veil ripping. That's 90% of it is that inner knowing. And this inner knowing, for whatever reason, it's time to come back online. We're waking up.
Nina, I don't have a problem with that. When you, I've learned with my wife is that openness is the best communication.
It
That way
is
you don't have anything to hide, you know?
the best. It's just
Yeah.
like, even if
Yeah.
it's bad, it's like, oh, just throw it on the table and get it over with. Kill that cat when it's done, whatever. It's just, yeah, get it over with.
Well, Lynn
Yeah.
figured me out pretty quick, you know, and I, when she asked me, she came down, we were going to a cocktail party back in the days when you actually had that. And,
Right.
you know, and
That's
she
a good
said, do
time.
I look fat in this dress? And I said, do I look stupid?
I look stupid.
I mean, I'm not, it's like, I'm not going to even go there, you know, and so, I found out,
Honey, I graduated that class. Like,
true story, let me tell you the lesson I had, folks. So Trina, this is a true story. So when I was getting into the corporate world, and this was back in my video post-production days, uh, the company had come in and I had orchestrated the deal and they bought out a facility and I was working in the newly acquired facility, but it required me to go to Atlanta where the company was headquartered at. True story. So we went out to lunch, right? And it was back in those days, kind of the buffet type thing.
okay.
So I'm talking, and here is the CEO and the CFO, Deborah, still remember. And I said, when are you expecting? She said, I'm not.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Yeah.
True story.
It happened to me once too.
True story.
Yeah, I just had a baby and I was all excited. I did that too once. Oops. Yeah, I feel your pain.
Well, and lunch didn't go too well.
That's
It was a
right. I feel your pain.
little tense, but now
Yeah.
here is the thing, Trina. I didn't know what her and her husband that they had been trying to conceive.
Oh.
And apparently for some reason they couldn't.
Mm.
Almost 90 days later, almost to the very day, they conceived.
Oh, wow.
And later, when I had left the company and went on with another company, we went out to the National Association of Broadcasters. Anyway, I ran into her. And she still says, she says, I think the two are connected. She says, I don't know. But she said, no one has ever said that to me. I could understand why. But she said, it sparked something. And she said, and now we have two children.
Wow, you
Yeah.
changed belief.
But you know what I learned? Even a fool seems wise who keeps his mouth shut.
I know. I've been trying. Yeah, I
It's like,
feel your way. Yeah. Oh, I
no
feel you.
more.
Sometimes just silence is
Just
best.
exactly, it's just sometimes it's just better just to shut up and sit down. So-
Just be quiet.
oh man.
Yeah, that's tough sometimes too. Woo.
Oh,
Yeah. Holy moly. Yeah, there is definitely something afoot. There's something going on for sure. Guys, get ready. It's getting interesting.
I'm just reading some of the comments. I had a new dad telling me. People get it. They get it, it happens. So here we are. The world is spinning out of control. It
Oh,
really is. I've never seen anything like this. What is been traditionally wrong is now right. What has been traditionally right is now wrong. You have mass confusion everywhere. Uh, and I keep asking myself, what's happened to us? And if I was going to take a planet over, the thing I would want to do would be having the inhabitants running around chasing their, proverbial tails.
Wayne, it's very interesting that you say that because you're absolutely right.
Someone said, lean into the mic.
I was going to say you're absolutely right.
Okay, thank
I mean,
you. Explain,
absolutely.
elaborate on that.
I've been going for a while, and I keep trying to remember my memories because I had some glimpses of Atlantis, and that was heavy information to process. And then I started getting glimpses of before that in the Mu Lemuria Pan times. So I keep seeing through these cycles of evolution, part of their grooming program is using cataclysms and natural cycles to modify their herd.
Mm.
So I've seen they've done this to us multiple times, and it's this way every single time before it goes down, and then every single time they're like, "Oops, uh-oh."
You said Lemuria, that which triggered me because I see Pangea.
Mm-hmm.
And when Pangea was here, um, at least this is what we suspect by putting the pieces back together. Pangea was a paradise.
Yes, literally,
And
it's yeah.
yeah, and I don't think it was absent of humanoids.
No,
No.
but they were this is what I see. Okay, I see that there were light beings that could come down here and like take form for a little bit, but they couldn't stay real permanent. What I saw with it was the Pangea time was the time where we had literally Pan, like goat men. This is the
Yes, thank you.
had the introductions between the angelic species and the animal kingdom. And there were many different levels and layers of this until we got into the apes and into the, I believe, the Bigfoot, the fifth dimensional, because they can go between dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
I literally see that they might have been the major bridge in how we became human. They used Bigfoot.
It's interesting because in all of our mythology, and I look at some of the other books, the Bronze books, for instance, the Colburn Bible. We have other stories, and in the book we're reading, it's apparently how it works. There was a time when there were what we would call humanoid in animal, fish, bird.
Yeah, that's
We
Brad was the fish god, you know.
and that's right. It was well, who was it? Osiris, who came up out of, he was half fish, half man.
Yeah.
Then we have the who is
Look
it?
at
The
the
half
symbol for
bird.
Starbucks. You have the queen with the serpent feet.
Yes, the
It,
mermaids.
yeah, it's all around us. The mythology, all of it's in our face, but we don't
And
have
I'm
we
going to tell
don't
you what, I'm
remember.
glad we brought this up because I didn't get to do it on Thursday, but I
Mhm.
want to show everyone something that I was going to show you on the Fukushima, because this changed my life in the aspect that I'm going to pull this up now. And so give me a chance. Here we go.
No problem.
Uh,
Yeah, it's crazy when this is. I keep seeing this. I keep seeing that these cycles, um, it's like
did I freeze up?
um,
No.
no, you're moving.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Here we go.
I'm like you're good.
So um, this is when the tidal wave hit. This is a small coastal town that is, I believe they're 4 to 5 miles from the ocean.
Oh,
You can see that the water flows out towards the ocean, but all the water has been sucked out of the river. And so pay attention to this, folks, because I'm setting this up. So the tsunami warnings are going off right now. I don't have the sound on because it gets pretty gruesome at some points. So here they are. You can see how the river is going down, way down, and it's being sucked out. And so they know now that the earthquake has hit. They know that the tidal wave, they don't know the intensity. Here is the vehicle as he's going through. Everybody is waving, it's all pretty. You can see how far the water is being sucked out. And I mean, almost, to where you could walk across this. So here, and I'll advance it some.
wow, Wayne.
Here's the tsunami. Here it comes. It looks harmless, don't it? But wait till you see what happens with those boats. Now, the river is flowing backwards now. It,
Oh
it
my
doesn't
God.
flow this way. Those people on that bridge, anyone that was left on there will be dead. Um, as you can see, here it comes. And folks, I have a point to this, Trina, because I'm going to show you there is a life form here that no one really thinks about. And now you can see how violent it's about to get. The boats are now being ripped by what the estimated speed of this is almost, I think they said almost nearly 200 kilometers an hour.
Oh
So
my
it is
God.
flat moving and it's moving quickly. And this is just the beginning. Now the people are standing here. You can see that they're, well, it's no big deal, right? So let's
Oh,
move it ahead.
yeah.
And here we go. Here we go. This is the full onslaught.
Oh my gosh.
They'll actually have a freighter move through here. On the other side of that bank, that all gets caught, that all burns to the ground. This
Oh,
guy, this police officer here, does not even know that was a boat that was part of their civil defense. There ain't no one in it. And there's good reason. So I'm going to advance it a little bit more for us because I want to show you something. Now they know they're in deep, deep trouble. So this is already elapsed time of another 5 minutes. This woman, I don't know if she makes it because what is about to hit is just,
gosh.
you can see it now. The force of the tsunami is moving in from the river. This guy carrying this camera is really a brave dude. So now you can see it. It's about to breach the wall. And then it gets worse.
Oh my gosh.
So now the water's coming in. I advanced this because there's about a dozen dead bodies that came through here. And we just don't here. Now you can begin to see the debris. Now let me show you something. So I want you to pay attention to what's happening down here in this parking lot.
Mhm.
Now you can see the river back here.
Yeah.
That's all from the ocean. That's
Wow.
debris. I want you to pay attention to this building where my cursor is right here, because I want you to show you the creature he just came up.
Yep, I've
So
seen that. I've seen this, and it's profound. They captured that.
watch this. And there's actually a pod of them. Now watch the building right here. For those of you who have not seen this. Watch. What is that? There it is.
Poof.
Now, these creatures are amazing. They dwell like dolphins. I've captured 8 of them all together in this video. But here's the most amazing thing, folks. Watch what happens to our creature here. Where did our creature go?
Right, it vanishes.
It vanishes.
Yep.
And you'll see another one. This is now, look at this. The force of that water is, it'll take all these trees down eventually.
My gosh.
10 years ago, last Friday.
Wow.
We're going to see another creature. We'll see them get up there. They're all through here. I'm convinced they're all through there. They're trying to find safety as well. I don't know what that ride must have been like under the water, but. And now our building is gone. There, did you see it?
Yep. Boom. Yep.
He's up over here now. I'll go back.
Do you think those might be spirits leaving bodies, Wayne?
No, I think they're the Gwen, what do they call them? The
Again?
All right, folks, watch. Yep, there he is. See him?
Yep. They're
The Gaian is what they're called.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Their legend says that these are powerful, powerful beings. And obviously, if they can literally disappear like that.
What are they? Are they fifth dimensional beings? Would you know what they are? Do you have a
Let me show you a picture of what
I've heard of that before, but I don't know really anything about that.
Yeah, let me show you. Here they are. Let me get this pulled up. and I'll share it with you. At least this is the closest that I've seen of them, right here. That looks the Nijin.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're huge creatures, as you've seen. I believe that they're very advanced. And they have caught them. Here is another one. Some say they look a lot like this. Another capture off. There's another one.
Wow.
And here I've captured the frame so everyone can actually get it. There they are. Here's one.
Yep.
Looks like them, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does.
See how he actually,
Even the way it moves. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would seem to me how.
And you can still see him here. He's
Mhm.
using a camouflage, which is remarkable. Here it is again. Look how adaptive they are. I mean, he's crawling up here. So this is what makes me think that, you know, now you can actually see that they have hind legs, a tail.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not alone. And again, here's another one. Watch. Boom. Just came up out of nowhere. Here's another one. They're moving in from the ocean. Watch. See them coming in here? Watch.
Oh, yeah.
See them? Look how
Mhm.
fast they move.
Wow.
Look at that. And they are running. Here he is right here, covering huge distances. He's getting in from this water, so it had to tear up their kingdom is the way I kind of look at it. And you can see
Well,
he's still running.
yeah, you're probably right.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm convinced that's why they were getting out, and you can still see him here. So yeah, pretty weird, isn't it?
It is. I think, yeah, I think we're gonna start maybe seeing a lot of things that we're not used to
And so
seeing.
I think about these things.
The problem.
If there are aliens, as that we call them,
Mhm.
humans aren't the only intelligent beings here.
No,
No.
no.
I mean, these are fantastic creatures. I don't know what they are, but they're you don't read about them in school.
Well, it's funny too. I mean, I don't think humans are organic to Earth. So
Someone says you can't tell what that is from that distance. Actually, I have the video, beloved abstract, and you can actually see there were 3 of those creatures that left that tsunami coming in. And the video was captured by a news crew from NK was it NKO, I think, or whatever the number one is over there in Tokyo, and they saw it. They were just looking at the tsunami wave coming in, and then they see these creatures running out of the water. Yeah, I don't know.
that's what I mean. It's like, whoa, holy moly. Could
So,
you
Pamela
imagine
G,
seeing one of those things running down the street? You'd be like,
what would you say to something like that? I mean,
I wouldn't say anything. I'd just say, keep on going.
say, hello, how are you? I, I don't know. For myself, I think when I watch these people that do these ghost shows, right? And they get all freaked out when they see something paranormal, and I'm going, then, well, what the hell are you there for?
Yeah, no, I might get spooked for a minute, but then I'm trying to okay, yeah.
Well, isn't the idea that you want to make contact, right?
Right.
Yeah. But I guess I'm like you. I think once you get over the initial shock,
Well, I think too,
you know,
sometimes you got to pay attention to what's actually present because if it's a bad energy, like hardcore, I think a lot of humans have that internal sense, and that's why they just freak out and run because they know they're in danger.
well, I had a strategy to how to contact the Nigerian. I thought that I would go over there and offer him tuna fish sandwiches.
I don't know if they eat. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if they come from the ocean. I'm thinking, maybe tuna. I don't know. I mean,
But
if you, if
the way they can shift dimensionally and
oh,
move
isn't
like
that incredible?
that, I don't know that they would eat solid food because they don't appear to be solid at all.
I wonder if multidimensional beings are vegetarians. I don't know. How often wonder do they eat? But something has to recharge the energy.
I think that they do eat, but you know, even like how they can see a different realm than we can see, they're probably eating food from that realm.
It's
So
interesting, yeah.
right in front of us, we just can't see it because we're 3D, not 5D.
You know, when I was sometimes in channeling and when I do my writings, I've asked the question, and they do eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not what we know here of the cellular type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know that food is required. I think it might be more just for more of a pleasure thing. 'Cause I don't think that there's a lot of it. I don't think you need a lot.
Because you know, let's say you and I was and with the rest of the soul tribe, we're on the bus and we all cross over. You know, we do it like just that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the question is, are we going to want to stop by, you know, are they going to have an Arby's over there? I mean, you know, there has to be something that we sustain ourselves on. I just don't know what it is.
You know, it's interesting because I've seen a vision a couple times, and my girlfriend saw it too, and that like all of us like were in some higher realm at this great big banquet,
I have seen that, Miss Trina.
and
I
we were
have
all
seen it.
dressed in white.
I
All
have been
everything was
there.
white. The table's white. Everything was white and gold and white and yeah. So why would we all be at a beautiful banquet if we didn't have food?
It could be like that Twilight Zone one is how do you cook humans?
No, it wasn't humans. And I remember,
I know that.
yeah, it was because there was no fear here, and everybody was so excited to be together, and it was just like a great reunion. It was beautiful.
the best the best interpretation I've seen on film was the movie Tron. Do you remember the movie Tron back in the late 80s? Jeff
Vaguely.
Bridges played in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jeff Bridges was a programmer, so
Yeah.
a user.
Yeah.
And when he got into the original Matrix, that's really where the Matrix came from, was Tron. Um, the master program was chasing them, and they were expending energy. And then they came to this. The only thing I know what to call it would be electromagnetic water,
Mhm.
and they drank it, and it recharged them again. Now, in the
That's
book of Revelations, it says that the river that flows from the temple will be the waters that heal the nations.
yes.
Yeah, anyway.
And these are the living waters, and you will never thirst
Yes.
again. You'll never
Yeah,
be thirsty after you drink from my living waters. There is something to that. There is
I think
something,
there is.
and that's what I see is most of it is liquids. And but this is a living light liquid is what I see. And the
Yeah.
first time I ever saw that was when I was reading about the ascended masters. And I somehow knew this living liquid water stuff was real. I knew it.
Wow.
You know, I knew it. Knew it. I just when I heard I was like, oh, I remember that. You know, just when those things hit you really hard. Yeah,
Speaking of the ascended masters, it's interesting, and you know, the teachings from the masters of the Far East,
love that book. Books.
I do too. And it just hit me. Folks, there's a way out. Other humans have gotten out.
Yes.
We call them the ascended ones, the wise ones, the ascended masters. But a master always starts out as an apprentice.
Yes.
Always.
Yep.
There's no shortcuts.
Nope.
So if they got to be there, we can go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, and I think there's times of our evolution where we get to these junctures where either you graduate or you repeat. And this is one of those times.
You know, there's great hope here.
Yeah.
No matter if there is a war coming, which I do believe there is,
Right.
many of us will be able to go out in front of that and say, so what?
Right. Yeah. Yes.
What? You're saying that, what, you're going to kill me? So what? I
Done that
mean,
before.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that so many times
My
that, you
first
know,
rodeo, baby. Right.
I
Ain't my
am
first rodeo.
I have been down that trick and I'm tricked it out, you know?
Yep. And I think that's
Uh,
90% of the get out of here ticket is about having that realization that you're not your body. I think it literally is that simple, is because so many people have no concept that they're more than this reality.
Trina, next week we're going to do, I found a book on the body soul contract.
Ooh.
And it's interesting because it sets us the idea up of how we come into these bodies is sometimes not so much planned, but what happens is how much the two blend.
Hmm. I knew
And there's
that.
a contract. There's an agreement.
I knew that somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but
The
remember it
body
told.
says that it's going to give us everything needed in this corporeal realm.
Yeah.
We give the body the animation that allows it to move through the space.
Yes. Yeah.
And where disease and sickness comes in is that because many times the body and the soul are in conflict with one another.
Totally.
Doesn't that make sense?
Well, just like my client said yes, and then her neck said no. I was like, what? Hold the phone. What? Yeah. So, yeah. Wow. Yeah. There's something to that. I've seen it.
Back in my youth, I used
Dude,
to
it
say
was
that
such
to
a
the girls I was
going on in
dating.
there.
It's like, honey, your body is saying yes, but your mind is saying no. Let your
That's
mind go and your
probably
body will flow.
that's probably where that comes from, Wayne.
I
For real.
actually have said that before. I said, you know,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
For reals. That is real. I've seen this before, and I've seen it in people's bodies, and they're like their soul and their spirit are not in alignment. They're like one's wanting
yeah.
to do one thing and the other's wanting to do the other thing. It's like, hey, we gotta find agreement here.
Yeah, we got to have a little powwow here, you know?
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
like you
yeah.
said, if they're not weaved together, oh, they're in opposition, and then that's a problem, child.
Ooh,
Holy,
Deborah Turex, that is a absolutely great observation. Suicide was a problem when people weren't afraid of death, according to some writings. Yes,
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
agree with that. Yeah. That's
absolutely.
why the fear of death is put into us. But yeah,
Yeah,
if you don't have fear of death, I mean, you're Mr. Megorium. You can stay as long as you want or leave.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
and
know that that's,
it's like people, but it's like that is a spooky thing because you do get to that realization and literally, but that is a very if you can get through it, because this is a part of the soul's evolution, and I do think this the suicide thing, I think it's a very deep embedded program in us because of all the trauma that we've been through. And I think that if you can get through that and not do it, um, wow, you're going to be very, very pleased with the outcome of that, because not fearing death will lead some people into taking their lives because they're not afraid to die. But that's also not serving why you didn't come here to do that. But to know that is a very powerful tool for you. But don't take action on it and think that everything's just like, oh, you can take your life and there's not going to be any issues with that. There's going to be an issue with you because you might have broken your contract with yourself. So,
yeah. And I like how the yogi masters say, you know, and I learned it in Bible school that the folks of what we call the early Old Testament,
mhm,
Abraham and those, that the way that they would depart is that they would speak the blessing
mhm,
to the firstborn, secondborn, to the kids.
mhm,
They would greet everyone,
mhm.
wish them goodwill. They would in turn, and the individual would literally go to their bed, pull their blankets up, and let the spirit go.
Yes, I think that's
I
the
think
way
that's the way it's supposed to be
protocol.
done.
I do too. Both of my grandmas died that way, Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother did the same way. She says, I'm going to take a nap. She says, I love you all. And she said goodbye as she walked in and took a nap and moved on.
Yeah.
Hello, is that Cody?
Yes, it is. You know, it's very
Hello,
like
Cody.
that too.
He's a pretty boy.
That's my
Cody,
Cody bear. That's not your bear, Cody. That's my bear.
is it Cody? Hello, pretty boy.
I
Oh,
know.
it's a pretty baby. Oh, it's a pretty baby.
He is such a love.
Let's see. Twilight Travel, everything you are throwing out is her wheelhouse for discussion, her understanding of how to control the. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I walk in the middle of these conversations and it's,
Yeah, it's hard, huh?
yeah, it's
And
like,
Pat moves so fast.
what does that mean? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I can just tell you to understand that you're more. It is a lot of people. They do get that. I'm not afraid to die, so they start going down those. But that's a rabbit hole. Like I said, this is the most important thing right now is to really get dominion over your own thoughts and your own mind and your body. Because I have a feeling the testing's going to come because I have a feeling they're going to have the ability to throw different signals at us, and those signals might make your body do things. You're going to have the mental strength to pull yourself back together. And if your mind is doing something, you're going to have to ask your body to help you get your mind.
It is the mind. Joyce Myers, as much as, I disagree on her theology, but she really was right. The battle is the mind.
Oh, totally. This is a mental construct.
It is. I'll tell everyone, there was a time in my life where I was really down. I mean,
Yeah,
I literally stood in the basement with a rope around my neck.
right.
And when you meet those moments, you really meet yourself.
Hmm.
And, I said, I remember the thought I had. I said, all right, I can either exit out on this in this term and have to deal with on the other side, or I can fulfill my calling, the mission on my life. That's what I'm here for a mission. And I decided that no matter what hell would come my way, it wasn't going to defeat me, and removed the rope and grew from there.
So glad. It's so funny. I was about maybe 12 or 13 years old, and I got in a really big fight with my mom and dad. And oh no, 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 this was in sixth grade when I got accused of stealing when I didn't do it. I got really, really depressed, super, super depressed. And I always had my spirit guide friend, so I wasn't afraid to die. So I was done with this world. And I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I'm leaving this place. I'm going to my other home because I still had a very, very aware presence that I was existing in other realities. So that really, as a teenager, it took all the fear away from that. So I was really struggling with this. And I think that these challenges came in to see if I would actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a battle that you're probably going to go through more than once in your life. But it was funny because I had decided to do it. So I put an enormous trash bag over my head, big enough to fall asleep in before I would wake up with no air. But it would be clean. I had the whole thing planned out.
It's odd
Know what
that you
happened,
say
Wayne?
that. What?
Divine intervention. My brother kicked in my bedroom door because I wouldn't answer.
Ah,
Swear to God. So like they sent somebody right away, and I was
yeah.
completely not even completely like passed out asleep yet. Yeah. So you know what I mean? I was completely fine, nothing. But no, like I said, divine intervention. So thank God for all of that. But I can completely resonate to what she's saying about you become fearless when you realize that you're
Mm-hmm.
more than just your body. But I really do think that, especially with that happening to me, it's not supposed to go that way, or they would have allowed it.
I agree. Sharon says, do you think fearing the way you die, not death itself, is due to the traumatic ending in past lives? Yeah,
Yes.
I think I have a sense that I have drowned before.
Me
And
too. My mom too.
and the reason why I know that is number of years ago, went in for the colonoscopy and the endoscopy,
Mhm.
and they had put me out, or they thought, and the doctor was putting the camera down my throat. He said I literally grabbed his arm, almost broke his wrist. And they called in 4 other medical technicians, and they barely could hold me down.
Mhm.
And he could not get me past. And so they couldn't do the procedure. I had to come back 2 days later, and they gave me fentanyl.
It's
Yeah, I mean the stuff that literally almost kills you in order to do. But that told me something. I told Lynn on the way home, even though I was pretty drugged up, I said, I swear, I said, I think I've drowned before.
Yeah.
And that's what that feeling was, even being completely unconscious. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Is it Yeshaya? Is that what is it Yeshaya 13? I survived suicide attempt at 19 too.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad.
I'm glad you're here. Listen,
Yeah. So
it-
glad you're with us.
it's called the Dark Night of the Soul.
Yeah, some of us
And
have more than one.
yeah,
So don't think if you have more than one, it's, because it does. I've seen people go through many. I've had a few. So yeah.
I've only
I-
had one. But it is the Dark Night of the Soul because it took me, I went into, I broke away from everybody. I was in the church. I just broke away for like 2 months and literally just stayed in my house, and I fasted, fasted for nearly almost 22 days. And you start hallucinating when you get to a certain point,
Yeah.
spiritually, and yeah. And what I came out of that was
What?
I was restored.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Absolutely.
restored.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's the
Absolutely.
key
It
thing.
was interesting too, because like after my brother came in and broke the door down and I woke up, I just realized it was like from that point on, I just had a knowing of like, I really could have screwed up. I had the sixth sense about it. Like that was the luckiest thing to have that intervention was a gift. But don't test me because I may not send it again. It was one of those
And
knowings,
you don't
like,
push it.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
literally had that understanding when I was out. I was like, well, I better be careful, and I better not think they're just going to come in and save me every time because they just clearly gave me the message. Get this,
Sometime you have to walk out without the safety net. Someone said, can we
yeah,
do more on the firmament? Yeah, the firmament's an interesting. There are many who say that we're under a hypnosis, that what we see is an illusion. It ain't real what we're seeing.
there's a lot of validity to that. I
Oh,
can
I think there's a lot.
validity to that.
I think there's a lot. I mean, it's yeah. Wow. This has been a great show. Deborah said I was 13 and had never had to doubt that I'm supposed to be here, since no matter how difficult things. You see, and that's it. I think we're all have that inner drive. And
Yeah,
if you violate that, I mean, it's not to say that it's the end of the world, but it's a wasted opportunity.
that's what it feels like to me. It's like you're going to kick your own butt so hard
Yeah.
because I guess these opportunities, you have to wait a long time for them to line up. This is a unique time. And they said it was going to be hard. This is Harvard, guys. If we
It is
graduate,
Harvard.
we win big.
And
Yeah.
my attitude is that you're here to experience, so experience all you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is. I love the
That's
idea where they talked about how the early humans weren't allowed to have coitus.
yeah.
You couldn't kiss someone, off with your head. And then we got the gift of being able to be intimate. And I thought to myself a lot on that, because within intimacy, it's not so much the physical. I mean, it has a great deal to do with it, but it's the blending of the souls that's so groovy. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
oh, well.
Absolutely.
Trina, this has been far out, hun. Always a far out time with you. I mean,
Love
thank you,
being with Brandon.
everybody.
Love being with the soul tribe. Yes.
Uh, Boo
Wonderful.
Boo Kitty, Brian. It's frightening. The only thing that made them go, I'm not, again, I can't read these conversations.
Right.
Like,
It's like, oh
does it make,
boy.
okay.
Yeah.
So what's up for you this week? You going to
Oh,
be
just
on a drama 7?
yep. On Friday night, Wednesday night, I think they've got a good show lined up too. And I think Robert's going to be on, and um,
Robert V
yeah,
is going to be
with Scotty Roberts. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
on the a drama 7.
Yep. On Wednesday night, and then Friday night, we're going to be talking about a lot of kind of what we're talking about right now, the potentials of where did we come from, a little bit about Pleiadian and Atlantean. It's so hard because all of the information that we have from those is so little. There's barely anything even in existence. So everything that we know of it has basically been brought forth through, you know, divine guidance and channeling. So for whatever reason, a lot of my memories are waking up with these things. I'm seeing a lot of correlations to cataclysms and rebooting of civilizations and a lot of that fun stuff. So we're going to be talking about those potentials. And, there's no right or wrong or yes or no. It's just looking at different potentials.
I think so. I mean, there's another way of looking at what's coming for us. We can call it war, but it may be a war because there's someone else here that's going to refill the ark. I
Yes.
mean, I really do, and I'm firmly in Ben Davidson's camp. I really do believe that our sun is going to micronova, and it does it regularly. About every 12,000 years, we're past due.
Well,
And
that's why that they just are want to invest billions into an arc that's going to hold 6.6 billion genetic samples to take up to the moon in a cryogenic storage unit.
I know yeah, yeah. That's
Mhm.
listen, they're up there.
Oh, they're up there for sure.
I
And
mean,
those who can travel there have seen that, yeah, they make humans. So yeah, it's
I'm
interesting
going to
what's
hold
going
to
on
the
up there.
belief that I believe that there always will be a remnant.
I do too, because it's
I believe that.
I do too.
There's
I do too.
something special about who we are.
Yes.
There is.
Yes, I think so
I
too.
look at these names, hey Teresa, and I see the people and I see many of the soul tribe here regularly, and I think
Mhm.
I've never met many of these people, but yet there's a kinship.
Yeah.
There's a fellowship here with these people. They're not just names, they're energy. Yeah.
The ones of us that are awake in this time, you guys are masters, because
Mhm.
this is really a tough gig, and really for us to be in this consciousness at this time is pretty awesome. So you're gonna be real happy with the work you've
I'm
done.
glad we've come together. I mean, over the years, we have seen what we're now calling ourselves the Soul Tribe,
Yeah.
and we've lost those, Brian and just a number of them that I've thought over the last couple of years. But they're here, their essence, their energy.
Yeah.
We're part of the formation of this coming together of these wonderful people. You dang Skippy,
Too, in
and
the
I
way
love you.
there's so much about this law of non-interference.
Yeah,
I keep
yeah.
getting so much information on this law of non-interference. That's how we decided to come down and make things right here, was we came from the inside out. So we came
Yeah.
we came from the inside out, because here is where we can make the difference.
And we are making a difference.
Yeah.
Hey, they say if it makes it just with one person, so
It's worth your
uh
entire lifetime. Yes.
it
I
is,
agree
yeah.
with that. I agree with that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
All right, dear. Now you're going to be on Saturday night with Robert V. Is
Yes. Yes.
okay,
I
there you guys
said.
go. So you know what to do. Nina has a show tonight, and
Yeah. Yeah, we might
um
be doing a show soon too with Al, because he's getting ready to break out the cards so you guys can see him and start ordering if you choose. So that'll be fun too.
excellent. I miss Big Al and Perry. I mean, I really
I
do.
know. Driving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're always
I haven't seen
they're
David
always
Barry in a
listening.
while. How
Yeah,
is David Barry? Do you know? Is David Barry doing good?
I think he is. He's been putting out some beautiful music.
Yeah.
Last it was beautiful, the one
Oh,
he
that's
yesterday.
my dog. She's saying, get
Gorgeous.
off the air. All
Right.
right, everybody.
Hi, Jack.
Much love to you. We will talk to you soon. And, we'll be here. Bosto. See you tomorrow. And then check out Miss Trina